Hey, up next on the Marmy Rock Show, I want to thank Johnny Ross of Small Town Titans for being with us. They're a band that we featured on the show many times, and on very short notice, he's joining us on the show because we have added their new song, Social Drift Away, to our Golden Dozen. So, Johnny, welcome back to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Always good.
Yeah, we always like talking to you, man. It's always a great time, and we're going to talk about the brand new song and a lot more, but I do want to ask you, you guys had kind of a big show last night, didn't you?
Yeah, it went well, man. Sometimes all you gotta do is ask the promoter.
So, tell the world a little bit about that show.
Well, it was Adam Ganier, who was formerly of 3 Days Grace and now in St. Estonia. I'm a fan of his just from my middle school years. Listened to a lot of 3 Days Grace then. He's a lot of great songs. And they were coming to town. We're not on tour right now, so they were hitting up our local area in Lancaster, PA. And it just hit them up and said, hey, if you need a band, let me know. Didn't hear anything for a while. And then long story short, just got hit up, hey, can you sell 30 tickets? I was like, you want us to play? Yeah, we could sell 30 tickets, no problem. We did, and it was a good show last night, man.
Yeah, it should be no problem for you guys in this area. You are huge in this York, Lancaster, Harrisburg area. So, hey, let's talk about the new tune, man. I loved it the first time I heard it. So, first, let's tell everybody a little bit about the tune, what it's about, because the lyrics are very interesting.
Yeah, the tune, sometimes we write songs pretty quick. Sometimes it takes longer. But no matter what, usually, even if it's a quick write, then we have to arrange it. We get on. We do it. The full band thing, the drum set, the guitars, everything. And with what we're doing here on this called Patreon, which we can talk a little bit about. This is more raw. This is more stripped down, and it's just kind of like the absolute core of a song. And anybody can bring any ideas. And this one happened to be mostly coming from Ben. He had the chorus, which we all liked, and he had the first verse. And we decided to just keep working on it, and literally in a matter of 3 hours, we finished the song. We just worked with each other on the words and the message and how to make it a little better, and hit record, and boom. And it's all in-house, too. We bought a very nice camera, and we bought a very nice audio box, and we were able to mix and film everything all by ourselves, which is really cool, because now we control it all.
Oh, yeah, there's a definite advantages to being DIY when it comes to stuff like that. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the other interesting thing about this tune, there's two more questions I have, and then we'll tell folks where we can get it and all that good stuff.
Sure.
The one thing I noticed, we don't usually hear Ben do a lot of, the lead parts on that, but he took a lot of the lead in this tune, didn't he?
There's been a few songs where he sang, and, Phil is no doubt the singer of our band, but he has a good voice too. And we've had a couple of fans every now and then say that they like to hear him sing, and on some of our other songs. And he like I said, he brought the song to the table, so we kind of just said, hey, let's try it. We're not thinking too hard right now. I think that's the key to this song and many other things we have coming up. It's kind of just like, hey, let's try it. Let's just do it. Not much thought. So, yeah, Ben singing on it, and in the past, that might have been something we thought way too much about. And right now, we're just like, you know what, forget it. Yeah, let's have Ben sing. Who cares?
Now, when you play the tune live, when you play it live, are you plugged in or are you doing it acoustic at your live shows?
We have not even, we haven't even contemplated doing it like full band. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about what we're doing here because this all ties in. We're on this site now called Patreon, and what Patreon is it's a site for creators of any kind. And you can think of it as an ongoing Kickstarter, but instead of having one major goal and maybe some very expensive rewards, like let's say it's $1 for this, but then it goes all the way up to $500 for this, $1,000 for this. Instead, Patreon is ongoing, and it's little amounts. So it's like if you give $1, we'll communicate with you exclusively on this feed on our Patreon page. If you give us $2, we'll give you MP3s of everything we're going to create. If you give us $5, we'll do online concerts with you. We'll send you behind-the-scenes stuff, lyrics. So the idea is Even if you have like 20 people, but they're each contributing anywhere from $1 to $5. Every time you create something, like a song, a video, anything, you get that money. And if you just keep working at it, I mean, then it's up to you as an artist, right? How much can you create? Can you create often enough that your audience is going to like it? And if you can, it's something. It sounds like a very cool idea to us, man. It's a very simple concept, and so we're going to be making songs all the time. We're not going to right now, at least. It's not going to be like, okay, let's write 15, 20 songs, narrow it down to 10, and then go do the whole old school thing of spending all the money to get it made and work with other people that might change it or and not that that's a bad thing. I mean, we're going to do that again too, but this is the opposite. This is like we pick up our guitars. Hey, that sounds cool. Okay, let's make it better. We're satisfied. Let's record it. Let's release it. Boom. And so we haven't even contemplated playing them live. But and I'll tell you what, the feedback on this first song is tremendous. I mean, we couldn't be more thrilled. So, in 24 hours, it's getting shared really well. It's getting shared a lot. People are checking out the Patreon site. So maybe we will have to work these into our live show. I don't really know. But it seems like it's a good idea.
I'll tell you, it's a home run tune, and you haven't offended you guys for a long time, but like it's the first time I heard it, I was like, I gotta get this thing in our our playlist here at the end because I've known you guys for years, but it's a top notch one of your guys' really great tunes. Hey, so the site, the way to get to that site so that people can check it out, if they go to your Facebook page, which is Small Town Titans on Facebook, they can actually just click on that link and get to the Patreon site, correct?
Yes. If you Google us, you can get everything about us pretty easily. We're lucky in a sense where nobody else has our name. Nothing else really comes up if you Google Small Town Titans. It's a nice thing. Trust me. Hey, if you go to smalltowntitans.com, everything is there as well. Sign up for the email list. That's the easiest way to stay in touch with everything we're doing. And then, if you simply go to patreon.com/smalltowntitans, and that's patreon.com/smalltowntitans. That'll take you directly there. But, Googling it probably is good.
Yeah, man, and in addition to that, man, and folks may not know, that are new to your band, you just had an album out too in 2016 called Reflection, and I also wanted to ask you about the, I don't know how long ago, but I noticed the music video for We Owe You the Truth. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about that?
Oh, okay. I think that was about 2 years ago now.
Was it 2 years ago that video came out?
I think so.
Wow.
We were doing it for a tour that didn't end up panning through. But at the time, Reflection was far from even a thing yet. And we just had that one song, and we contemplated making a new record at that time, but then we decided to just go out with one single and just start touring. We hadn't done it before. We were preparing to transition into that type of lifestyle. And rather than spend all this money on a record and then have nothing for the gas tank, we said, why don't we just release one song and go out there on behalf of one brand new song? And that song happened to be We Owe You the Truth. And then I think maybe a year later, we cut the record. We Owe You the Truth made the record. So then it was formally physically released. Because the one thing about that, we're out on the road and we couldn't physically sell We Owe You the Truth. It wasn't on a CD. But it is what it is. It got us the experience we needed to see what tour life is like. And you can either do it or you can't, man. I'll say that.
I guess the reason that I even brought that video up, I was going back looking at it, it just reminds me of what a great live band you guys are when I watched it, and I tapped into your, somebody was Facebook Live and y'all last night at your performance. I don't know what it was, but I tapped into there and it was good to see you guys up on stage again. Because we don't get to see you all the time, but we do see as often as we can. Do you have any other big shows coming up that you want to tell folks about or anything right now live?
We have one right now, and it's with a band called Kickin' Valentina. And
we know them well. Hey, you know what? This is really cool. They're my other guests on the show tonight, and I didn't actually realize you had a show with them.
Well, yeah. Tubby's on December 9th in Duncannon, Pennsylvania. We are with Kickin' Valentina, and two other bands, I think. Their names are escaping me right now. But I think it's a good band, Bill, and it's I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be an audience.
Be a good one.
I think it's going to be an audience we have not typically performed in front of, a little bit of an older audience. That's what I was told, which is fine with me, man. It's a good thing. We want to expand that audience to as many people as possible.
Yeah, they're a great live band. I seriously didn't plan that. They're my other guests tonight on the show, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hey, so one last thing before I let you get going, man. We run into you all the time at live shows. You're such a big live music fan yourself. Do you have any other concerts you're excited to go to? Because it seems like every time we go to a festival or something, I run into you.
Yeah, I mean, if I can make the festivals, that's where you get your bang for your buck, right? You see so many great bands for a price that's totally worth it. I'm personally saving up for Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as silly as that might sound, I'm literally making sure I am going to whatever they decide to do next. Huge fan of their band and their new album, and I dig into them with their interviews and everything they have going on behind the scenes. And they are saying they're going to have one hell of a show live. That is going to be an experience that no rock band has ever done. And it's going to be more Pink Floyd The Wall-esque than anything else. And that just has me so excited as a fan, where I'm like, I can't miss that. Like, I have to make sure that I'm able to go to Avenged Sevenfold, even if it's next year.
Well, we always enjoy seeing you at a show, as long as you're not standing right in front of me, because you're too tall for me. But it's always good seeing you at a show.
I get that sometimes.
Whenever we get a chance. So, hey, man, the new song is Social Drift Away. It's a really great tune from Small Town Titans. You can get out there, go to their Patreon site. You can either link to it from their Facebook page, or you can go to patreon.com/Smalltown Titans, and you can see all the cool stuff they got going on there. So, hey, Johnny, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for being back on the show again.
Thank you so much, man. Have a good one.